नमस्कार, आप देख रहे हैं डीडी न्यूज़ और मैं हूं आपके साथ आरेंद्र। समाचारों की शुरुआत करते हैं इस वक्त की हेडलाइंस के साथ। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी को मिला स्लोवाकिया का शीर्ष सम्मान। राष्ट्रपति पीटर पेलेग्रिनी ने प्रदान किया ऑर्डर ऑफ द व्हाइट डबल क्रॉस फर्स्ट क्रॉस। प्रधानमंत्री ने देशवासियों को समर्पित किया अपना अवार्ड। अब तक मिल चुके हैं 33 देशों के शीर्ष सम्मान। स्लोवाकिया दौरे को प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने बताया ऐतिहासिक। ट्रेड, टेक्नोलॉजी और इनोवेशन को लेकर हुए कई अहम समझौते। द्विपक्षीय संबंध पहुंचे व्यापक साझेदारी स्तर पर। पीएम मोदी ने कहा, टेक्नोलॉजी हमारी भावी साझेदारी का महत्वपूर्ण स्तंभ। स्लोवाकिया ने भारत के संयुक्त राष्ट्र सुरक्षा परिषद में स्थायी सदस्यता का किया समर्थन। इंडिया EU FTA को अंतिम रूप देने में स्लोवाकिया से मिले सहयोग के लिए प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने प्रधानमंत्री रॉबर्ट फिको को जताया विशेष आभार। खत्म नहीं हो रही टीएमसी सांसद अभिषेक बनर्जी की मुश्किलें। पार्टी में टूट के बीच शिक्षक भर्ती घोटाले मामले में फंसे अभिषेक। ईडी ने की पूछताछ। बागी सांसद अरूप चक्रवर्ती ने लगाया तानाशाही का आरोप। अमेरिकी राष्ट्रपति डोनाल्ड ट्रंप का ईरान के साथ शांति समझौते का ऐलान। 19 जून को स्विट्जरलैंड में होंगे हस्ताक्षर। इजराइल ने अमेरिका ईरान शांति समझौते को मानने से किया इनकार। वहीं भारत में ईंधन आपूर्ति है स्थिर। सबसे पहले बात उस सम्मान की जो सिर्फ एक व्यक्ति नहीं बल्कि दुनिया में भारत के बढ़ते प्रभाव और भरोसे की कहानी भी बयां करता है। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी को स्लोवाकिया के उच्च राजकीय सम्मान ऑर्डर ऑफ द व्हाइट डबल क्रॉस फर्स्ट क्लास से सम्मानित किया गया है। ये सम्मान ऐसे समय में मिला है जब वैश्विक मंच पर भारत की भूमिका लगातार मजबूत होती जा रही है और कई देश भारत को एक अहम साझेदार के रूप में देख रहे हैं। प्रधानमंत्री ने इस सम्मान के लिए आभार व्यक्त किया है। प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा कि यह सम्मान भारत के 1.4 अरब नागरिकों का सम्मान है। प्रधानमंत्री ने इस सम्मान को भारत और स्लोवाकिया के बीच गहरी दोस्ती का जिक्र किया है। हम आपको सीधे ले चलते हैं स्लोवाकिया, जहां पर विदेश मंत्रालय की प्रेस वार्ता की शुरुआत होने जा रही है।
We have with us for this briefing Secretary West in the Ministry of External Affairs, Shri C.B. George, and he is assisted by Additional Secretary North Europe in the Ministry of External Affairs, Srimati Pooja Kapoor, and of course we have our Ambassador to Slovakia, Srimati Apurva Srivastav, also with us. With that, I hand over the floor to Secretary West to tell us more about this historic visit of Prime Minister to the Slovak Republic. Sir.
Thank you, Randir. My colleagues, Additional Secretary Madam Pooja Kapoor, Ambassador Madam Apurva Srivastava, my friends from the media, a very good evening to each one of you. Today is a historic day for India and Slovakia relations. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi is on a state visit to Slovakia at the invitation of the Prime Minister of the Slovak Republic, His Excellency Mr. Robert Fico. This is the first ever visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Slovakia since its independence in 1993. Prime Minister arrived in Bratislava yesterday evening. On arrival, he was received by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and European Affairs of Slovakia, His Excellency Mr. Juraj Blanar. He also received a very warm welcome by the Indian community in Slovakia, along with the cultural performances by local Slovak artists. Today, Prime Minister was accorded a ceremonial welcome at the Bratislava Castle, followed by talks between the leaders, between the prime ministers. The two prime ministers also delivered their address to the media and also witnessed the exchange of agreements and MOUs signed during the visit. Thereafter, Honorable Prime Minister met the President of the Slovak Republic, His Excellency Mr. Peter Pellegrini, at the Presidential Palace for talks. He also hosted a banquet in honor of the Prime Minister. As a special gesture, President conferred the highest state decoration of Slovakia, Order of the White Double Cross First Class, upon Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi for his role in an exceptional contribution in building India-Slovakia relationship. Prime Minister dedicated the award to the people of India and Slovakia who have contributed in strengthening this partnership. Prime Minister also met with His Excellency Mr. Richard Rasi, Speaker of the National Council of the Slovak Republic, reaffirming the commitment to strengthen relationship between our two democracies. Let me go over the meetings which was held, starting with the meeting at the Prime Ministerial level. The Prime Ministers covered the entire spectrum of bilateral relationship as well as exchanged views on regional and global developments of mutual interest, including ongoing the Ukraine conflict, situation in West Asia, India-EU relationship, among others. They also discussed the India-EU FTA, which was concluded earlier this year, which has generated a new momentum in relationship between India and the EU and the members of the EU countries, including Slovakia. Several important bilateral MOUs were covering the various domains of defense, mobility, higher education, audiovisual creation, digitalization, cyber security, and post-quantum technologies, naturopathy were signed and exchanged during the visit. The leaders decided to elevate the bilateral relationship to comprehensive partnership. A joint statement has been issued on the occasion, which is available on the website of the Ministry of External Affairs. The MOU signed, the outcomes of the visit are also available on the MEA website. I would request you to go through that for additional information. I would like to touch upon some of the MOUs in particular. One is in the field of labor migration, that is for mobility between India and Slovakia, which is a very important agreement in terms of human resources, which is very important. We also signed a letter of intent in cooperation in the defense field, another important area of cooperation which has emerged during the visit. Again, an MOU on digital technologies, MOU on cooperation in the field of higher education and research, MOU on audiovisual creation, and establishment of the first ever India chair in artificial intelligence in the Technical University of Košice, correct? Košice, okay. I also want to touch upon some of the MOUs signed in terms of at a G2B level we have signed. One is on the field of quantum communication and critical infrastructure protection, one on National Institute of Naturopathy, Pune, Ministry of Ayush, and the Slovak Health, Piestani, was also signed. There were also MOUs and understandings were reached between the B2B level as well. For example, one is in the field of student exchanges, scholarships, and research collaboration, one in terms of nuclear studies, one in terms of scientific cooperation between the Indian National Science Academy and the Slovak Academy of Sciences, tourism cooperation, then a few announcements, very important announcements. I will elaborate some of them in my briefing today, but just wanted to cover that. I already mentioned that we have agreed to elevate the relationship to comprehensive partnership, which is very important, and agreed to have a joint working group on cooperation in counterterrorism, the also establishment of a consular dialogue between India and Slovakia. It's also pertinent to mention that Slovakia reiterated its support for India's permanent membership in the UN Security Council, in an expanded UN Security Council. Now, let me just go over a few more points. During the bilateral meeting between Prime Minister and the President of Slovakia, again, you would recall that they had met in New Delhi when the President had visited India in February for the AI Impact Summit. Since then there has been significant cooperation between the two countries in the field of AI. Both sides discussed cooperation, including in the emerging high-tech areas of AI, nuclear and defense cooperation, explored new avenues of cooperation to take the relationship to new heights. During the interaction with the Slovak business leaders, Prime Minister noted the ongoing Slovak investments in India and highlighted the major reforms and policy initiatives introduced by India in recent years to promote ease of doing business, and invited the Slovak companies to take further advantage of the growing opportunities in India, including in the areas of infrastructure, renewable energy, digital innovation, semiconductors, AI, nuclear, civil nuclear energy, healthcare. In fact, I already mentioned about the chair on AI, which was set up for the first time in Slovakia. On the civil nuclear side, it has also been discussed. The small modular reactors issue was also discussed. In fact, you are aware that Slovakia, more than 60% of its electricity is produced from civil nuclear energy. So it's a huge potential for cooperation, particularly after the Shanti Bill, which was adopted in India recently. I mentioned about the agreement on the labor mobility. Indian community in Slovakia has significantly grown in recent years, which continue to rise, and it is at present close to around 11,000 currently. The MOU signed today will facilitate safe, orderly, and legal movement of professionals and skilled workers. Our leaders also agreed to work towards an early conclusion of the social security agreement, strengthening frameworks for skills recognition, welfare, and protection of the professionals. The MOU on higher education and research will further enhance educational institutional linkages, which would hugely benefit the students on both sides. Yoga and Ayurveda, Indian cuisines, and movies are very popular and becoming more popular among the Slovaks. Both our countries offer unique locations for our filmmakers. MOU in audiovisual creation signed today will further promote collaboration between film and media industries, thereby deepening people-to-people connect. In fact, people-to-people connect is one of the important elements in our engagement between India and Slovakia. There is a natural synergy between ancient Indian systems such as Ayurveda, naturopathy, and the spa system of Slovakia. And to begin with, the National Institute of Naturopathy, Pune, has signed this MOU, as I mentioned. Also today, at the Presidential Garden, many young Slovak children performed yoga in front of Prime Minister, a reflection of the growing popularity of that. The visit reaffirms India's commitment to strengthen ties with Slovakia and will provide a renewed momentum to bilateral cooperation across diverse sectors. Elevation of relationship to comprehensive partnership will take bilateral relationships to a new level, strengthen existing cooperation mechanisms, and explore new avenues for deepening cooperation both bilaterally and multilaterally. In the area of digital technologies, both leaders agreed to deepen collaboration in digital public infrastructure, cybersecurity, and emerging technologies with a focus on promoting secure, inclusive, and innovation-driven digital ecosystems. Respective agencies from the two sides agreed to collaborate in advanced research and development in quantum technologies, including secure communication systems and related scientific applications, underscoring a shared commitment to frontier innovation. Further, the first ever India Chair on Artificial Intelligence will be established in the Technical University here, promoting advanced joint research, academic exchange, and innovation in human-centric AI applications. You remember at the AI Impact Summit, Honorable Prime Minister has said that what we need is not a machine-centric AI. What we need is a human-centric AI. So that is something which we continue to highlight and pursue. India and Slovakia have also, as you are aware, have traditional defense cooperation going on for some time. But today we have entered into a letter of intent which paved the way for a broader agreement and provides for enhanced engagement in areas such as defense training, encouraging industrial collaboration and exchange of expertise, contributing to greater interoperability and mutual security. I would also touch upon an important element, which is the trade and investment engagement, which is the cornerstone of our ties. In fact, in the last few years, we have seen the trade relationship has enhanced very well with, but then the business today, the engagement with the business gave the further highlighted the growing momentum in our business and investment engagement, and it's a forward-looking relationship. We have released the details of the business meeting which was held, including the names of the business leaders and companies which participated in the engagement. The business leaders noted that they have closely followed India's growth trajectory over the past several years, and many among them have already been investing in India. They expressed strong desire to deepen engagement with India, including in the context of the India-EU FTA, which has been concluded. I could say that all three elements of the three T's, trade, technology, and tourism, that the Prime Minister emphasizes has been addressed today in our engagement with Slovakia, and Slovakia is also a very important member of the European Union. Prime Minister will leave for the G7 summit tomorrow morning. Overall, this visit to Slovakia was highly successful and marks an important milestone in India's partnership with Slovakia, with particularly the elevation of relationship to comprehensive partnership. Prime Minister invited the Slovakian Prime Minister to visit India, and we look forward to the visit. And let me conclude by saying this: as I am speaking to you now, the illumination of the magnificent Bratislava Castle in tricolors of the Indian national flag celebrates the enduring friendship between India and Slovakia. I will now stop here, and we would be very happy to engage you on questions if you have any. Thank you.
Please do introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. My name is Andrej Matišak. I'm a Slovak journalist from Daily Pravda. I've got two questions, if I may. One is regarding the defense cooperation. If you can be more concrete, maybe what we can expect in this area, because you mentioned defense training, interoperability, mutual security. So if you can say a few words, if there are anything to say more concrete about it. And the second one is that I'm sure that Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Fico also discussed the issues of global importance. And my question is, I would like to know, how do you assess, I mean, from the Indian perspective, and I'm not assessing your policies, but how do you assess Slovak policies against Russia and Ukraine? Because, as you mentioned, Slovakia is an important EU member, but in this area, Slovakia can be described as an outlier. So maybe I would like to hear from you that how do you assess the policies of Slovakia towards Russia and Ukraine? Thank you.
Please.
Sir, I'm Vishal Baristo from Doordarshan News Delhi. My question to you is that Indian diaspora is 11,000 plus and growing. An MOU was signed with regard to the cooperation in the field of migration laws. So what is it and how will it benefit the Indian diaspora?
Sir, I am Niranjan Mishra from ANI. As sir discussed that, mentioned that we have also discussed the UNSC permanent membership. Have you also discussed the reform agenda with the Slovakia?
सर CS जोशी बोल रहा हूँ दूरदर्शन न्यूज़ से। हमने यहाँ पर देखा कि योगा और जो कल्चर है इंडिया का वो काफ़ी यहाँ पर लोगों में पसंद किया जा रहा है। इसको और आगे बढ़ाने के लिए क्या कुछ कर रहे हैं ताकि ये संबंध और मजबूत हों?
I think we can take these questions, sir.
Yeah.
And then
Thank you very much. Thank you, Randy. Let me start with the question on defense cooperation. I mentioned about it in my opening remarks, and also it is covered in the joint statement. I would request you to have a look at the joint statement. But let me give a brief background of that. Defense is an important pillar of our cooperation and offers opportunities for defense exports. The letter of intent in defense cooperation signed today will strengthen collaboration in the areas such as defense policy, promotion of defense industry, military education and training, arms control and disarmament, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief exercises and training, and of course, UN peacekeeping operations, among others. In each one of these, there is something unique both sides offers. For example, India is one of the largest contributors when it comes to the UN peacekeeping operations. So there is something we can collaborate on this. India is focusing a lot on the self-reliance when it comes to indigenous defense industry establishment today. There are two defense corridors. India is building one in the north and one in the south. There is huge opportunities for more collaboration between the private sector in that both the corridors, and in fact it is happening with many other countries, like-minded countries. So there is huge opportunities for engagement there. In fact, we already have some significant ongoing arrangements in different sector. For example, between a Slovak company VRM and a contract with the India's HAL Kanpur, there is cooperation. There are a few other companies. I don't want to get into the details of this, but there is an ongoing defense cooperation. And we see that this defense LOI, letter of intent, would further strengthen that collaboration. And we look forward to signing a defense agreement in the next few, in coming months, which would again establish our defense cooperation, very solid cooperation. Looking forward to that. Now, the second question pertains to the Slovakian policy on global issues. I would not like to comment on that. I would like to focus on the Indian policy on the issues, which has been very well articulated by our leaders. India always stands for peace and settlement of all issues through dialogue and diplomacy. That is our stand. My Prime Minister has made it very clear from the very beginning that this is not an era of war, this is an era of peace, and we need to find a way to settle all the issues through peaceful dialogue and diplomacy. That is India's position. That continues to be India's position on any issues. Coming to the question on the diaspora, I'm very happy that we have entered into this cooperation in the field of labor migration. As I mentioned, the number of Indians in Slovakia has increased significantly in the last few years, which is a very important development. Why is this happening? Because Indian youth has something unique to offer. If you travel to any part of the country where Indians are working, you will see that every country likes Indian workers, Indian youth, Indian technocrats, Indian IT engineers, Indian medical professionals to work there. And we have seen it because we bring something unique to the table: sincerity, loyalty, and of course the expertise. It is skilled workers, skilled professionals that India offers. So we have seen that this number has increased in Slovakia, which is a very important development. In fact, I am told that India is the second largest diaspora in Slovakia. And I recall that in the meetings today, the Slovakian leaders welcomed the presence of Indian community and thanked Honorable Prime Minister for the role that the Indian community plays here in building in the economic progress of Slovakia. So the new MOU helps us further streamline the process. It covers promotion of employment, including in the promotion of labor mobility through skilling and vocational education and training, with a view to ensuring the interest of the workers and of both the sides. So I think it's a win-win situation. We look forward to more collaboration in the human resources. It's also an important element of the people-to-people connect. It shows the growing trust in our engagement, in our relationship, which is very important. Now let me touch upon the question on the UNSC, UN Security Council. See, India always stands for UN. Believes that it is important to have the UN reforms. Reform is long overdue. United Nations is, unfortunately stuck in the past. It is very important that it reflects the realities of today. The reality of today is that, like India, which is the largest populated country in the world, largest democracy in the world, the fastest growing large economy in the world, largest young population in the world, contributed immensely in the UN peacekeeping operations. India is not in the UN Security Council. So it's very important that we reform the United Nations, including the UN Security Council, so that it reflects the realities of today. It's very important for the United Nations itself, for it to achieve, to realize the objectives for which it has been created in the 1940s, for that to remain as the most important, the agenda for the United Nations. It needs to undertake the reforms. This is something we believe in it, and we have been pursuing this, and also with like-minded countries, we discuss that in each of the meetings. And I'm very happy to note that the Slovakian leadership reaffirmed their commitment to support India in an expanded UN Security Council as a permanent member. Now let me move on to yoga and Ayurveda and related. As I said, we are already signing an MOU in the field of Ayurveda, correct? Yeah. And if you look at it, yoga is today became a very important element of our cultural engagement. How did it happen? In 2014, the United Nations adopted June 21st as International Day of Yoga. Since then, June 21st is celebrated all over the world as the International Day of Yoga, and we are looking forward to next celebrations later this month. So that is the day the entire world, every country, I think we celebrate in almost all the countries, we celebrate International Day of Yoga. But it is not that day alone. Now it has become a passion. You go to any part of the world, any small or big town in the world, you will see that yoga has become a part and parcel of the life of many people. So it is growing, and I am very happy that here also in Slovakia, the importance of yoga has been realized, and more people are practicing that. So this is, we will continue to do that engagement. I am sure that Ambassador has planned a big yoga celebrations on June 21st, which we look forward to. So I think I stop here. I'll be happy to take more questions.
Mm-hmm. If you have a question there, yes, please.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Jana Liptakova, Slovak Spectator. I would like to ask you what will be the next step after this visit. So with Czech Republic, there is a strategic partnership in innovation. In Poland, there is 5-year action plan. So what will be for Slovakia?
Okay. One more question? Please.
सर
अच्छा, please.
पीएम को सर्वश्रेष्ठ सम्मान से भी सम्मानित किया गया है और ऐसा बताया जा रहा है कि पहला ऐसा अवार्ड स्लोवाकिया में किसी प्रधानमंत्री को दिया गया है.
Please.
Thank you. One more question from me. In joint communique, in joint statement, there is a mention of establishing of joint working group, anti-terrorism working group. Could you tell us a little more what we can expect when this will be established and what we would cover?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Let me start with the first question on the what next. As I pointed out, and you are aware, this is a historic day. This is the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Slovakia since its independence. So it's a new beginning. But I think it's a game changer in our relationship between the two countries. Of course, we have excellent relationship, but we are now able to upgrade that relationship to a comprehensive partnership. As I mentioned in my opening remarks, Honorable Prime Minister of India has invited the Prime Minister of Slovakia to visit India. So we look forward to that visit, which would again provide an opportunity to, during this period, we would be able to work together with a joint action plan, with a joint roadmap to take our relationship, implementing each of these agreements which we have, MOUs we have agreed to, the announcements we have made, which are very significant. If you look at covering defense, covering IT, digital, covering economic partnership, covering labor mobility. So there are a lot of agreements which we have entered into. And also I mentioned about the trade and investment relationships. So we will work on each one of them to ensure that the roadmap set by our leadership for the comprehensive partnership is achieved, is realized, and that is what we are looking forward to. So it's a win-win situation, and we will work together to take this relationship forward. Now, let me move to the next question on the award. I briefed in my things, and also we have issued a press release on that. It's a special ceremony held where Prime Minister was given the highest state honor of Slovakia. The Order of the White Double Cross First Class was presented to Honorable Prime Minister. He expressed his gratitude to the President, the government, and the people of Slovakia for the distinguished honor. Accepting the award, Prime Minister said that the honor was a tribute to the 1.4 billion people of India and to the enduring bonds of friendship between India and Slovakia. So I leave it at that. Or coming to the, the issue of working group on terrorism. Who has asked that question? Working group on counter-terrorism. We have covered it in the joint statement which you have seen. Both the leaders unequivocally condemned terrorism in all its forms and manifestations, including cross-border terrorism, and also condemned the terror attack which happened in Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir in India on 22nd April last year. They agreed to establish this joint working group, called for concerted international efforts to combat terrorism in a comprehensive and sustained manner. As like-minded countries, as partners in the fight against global terrorism, we look forward to working together. We plan to have regular meetings between at an appropriate level. Normally it is done at the heads of the counter-terrorism units in the respective government. So these meetings should be held where they will exchange views, they will share information and work together in the fight against global terrorism. Thank you. The dates for the next meeting will be decided on mutually convenient date. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. With that, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We come to the close of this press briefing, but I do encourage you to go and see the Bratislava Castle. It is illuminated in Indian tricolor, and that gives you an indication of the warmth and success of this historic visit. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
तो प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के स्लोवाकिया दौरे को लेकर विदेश मंत्रालय की ये विशेष प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस आप स्लोवाकिया से ही देख रहे थे, जिसमें प्रधानमंत्री के इस मौजूदा दौरे पर विस्तार से जानकारी दी गई। प्रधानमंत्री के वहां पहुंचने से लेकर अभी तक के तमाम कार्यक्रमों का जिक्र किया गया। भारतीय प्रधानमंत्री के स्लोवाकिया के प्रधानमंत्री के साथ मुलाकात के दरमियान जिन बातों का जिक्र हुआ, जिन पर विषयों पर चर्चा हुई, उसको बारे में विस्तार से जानकारी दी गई। दोनों ही देशों के बीच में किस प्रकार से 14 आउटकम्स निकल के आए, समझौते और घोषणाएं हुई हैं, उसका विस्तार से जिक्र हुआ। तो वहीं प्रधानमंत्री मोदी की स्लोवाकिया के राष्ट्रपति के साथ मुलाकात का जिक्र भी सामने आया और तमाम सवाल जवाब भी हुए, जिसमें साफ तौर से ये सार निकल के आया कि दोनों देशों के द्वारा एक जो बात तय हुई है कि अपने जो सहयोग है, संबंध है, उसको नए स्तर तक ले जाकर आपसी संबंधों को आगे बढ़ाने पर बात की गई है। तो ये अपने आप में बेहद पूर्ण मौका प्रधानमंत्री की मौजूदा स्लोवाकिया यात्रा को लेकर, और प्रधानमंत्री का अब अगला पड़ाव एक बार फिर से G7 के लिए होगा, जो कि फ्रांस के एवियन शहर पहुंचेंगे, जहां पर प्रधानमंत्री विस्तार से G7 में भी शिरकत करते नजर आएंगे। अगली खबर की ओर बढ़ते हैं और बात करते हैं सबसे पहले उस सम्मान की जो सिर्फ एक व्यक्ति नहीं बल्कि दुनिया में भारत के बढ़ते प्रभाव और भरोसे की कहानी भी बयां करता है। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी को स्लोवाकिया के उच्च राजकीय सम्मान ऑर्डर ऑफ द व्हाइट डबल क्रॉस फर्स्ट क्लास से सम्मानित किया गया है। यह सम्मान ऐसे समय मिला है जब वैश्विक मंच पर भारत की मजबूत भूमिका नजर आ रही है और कई देश भारत को एक अहम साझेदार के रूप में देख रहे हैं। प्रधानमंत्री ने सम्मान के लिए आभार व्यक्त किया है। प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा कि सम्मान भारत के 1.4 अरब नागरिकों का सम्मान है। पीएम मोदी ने इस सम्मान को भारत और स्लोवाकिया के बीच स्थायी और मजबूत मित्रता को समर्पित किया है। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी को मिला यह सम्मान उनके अंतर्राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व और भारत की बढ़ती वैश्विक साख की एक और बड़ी पहचान माना जा रहा है। देखिए दुनिया के अलग अलग देशों से मिले सम्मानों के जरिए कैसे मजबूत हुई है भारत की वैश्विक पहचान, इस खास रिपोर्ट में। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी को स्लोवाकिया के राष्ट्रपति पीटर पेलेग्रिनी ने देश के सर्वोच्च सम्मान ऑर्डर ऑफ द व्हाइट डबल क्रॉस फर्स्ट क्लास से सम्मानित किया। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी का यह सम्मान भारत और स्लोवाक गणराज्य के बीच संबंधों के व्यापक विकास में असाधारण योगदान के लिए दिया गया है। यह पीएम मोदी के लिए 33वां वैश्विक सम्मान है। इससे पहले प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी को नॉर्वे के राजा ने देश के सर्वोच्च नागरिक सम्मान ग्रैंड क्रॉस ऑफ द रॉयल नॉर्वेजियन ऑर्डर ऑफ मेरिट से सम्मानित किया। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी को यह सम्मान वैश्विक मंच पर भारत की बढ़ती भूमिका, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कूटनीति में सक्रिय भागीदारी और नॉर्वे के साथ सहयोग को नई दिशा देने के लिए दिया गया है। इससे पहले पीएम मोदी को स्वीडन में रॉयल ऑर्डर ऑफ द पोलर स्टार से सम्मानित किया गया। भारत स्वीडन संबंधों को मजबूत करने में असाधारण योगदान और दूरदर्शी नेतृत्व के लिए प्रधानमंत्री को ये अवार्ड दिया गया। स्वीडन की राजकुमारी विक्टोरिया ने पीएम को ये अवार्ड सौंपा। 1748 में स्थापित रॉयल ऑर्डर ऑफ द पोलर स्टार स्वीडन के सबसे प्रतिष्ठित शाही सम्मानों में गिना जाता है। पोलर स्टार यानी ध्रुव तारा, जो दिशा, स्थिरता और मार्गदर्शन का प्रतीक माना जाता है। इससे पहले साइप्रस ने प्रधानमंत्री मोदी को ग्रैंड क्रॉस ऑफ द ऑर्डर ऑफ मकारियोस III, जबकि रूस ने द ऑर्डर ऑफ द सेंट एंड्रयूज द अपोस्टल से सम्मानित किया था। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ये सम्मान पाने वाले पहले भारतीय नेता बने। पश्चिम एशिया के जटिल भू राजनीतिक समीकरणों के बीच भारत ने संतुलित और भरोसेमंद साझेदारी की अपनी पहचान मजबूत की है। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी दुनिया के उन चुनिंदा नेताओं में शामिल हैं जिन्हें इजराइल और फलस्तीन दोनों ने अपने सर्वोच्च सम्मानों से नवाजा है। इजराइल ने उन्हें स्पीकर ऑफ द नेसेट मेडल प्रदान किया, जबकि फिलिस्तीन ने ग्रैंड कॉलर ऑफ द स्टेट ऑफ फिलिस्तीन से सम्मानित किया। पश्चिम एशिया में अन्य देशों मसलन ओमान ने ऑर्डर ऑफ ओमान, कुवैत ने द ऑर्डर ऑफ मुबारक अल कबीर और संयुक्त अरब अमीरात ने ऑर्डर ऑफ जायद से प्रधानमंत्री मोदी को सम्मानित किया है। ग्लोबल साउथ और अफ्रीकी देशों के साथ भारत की साझेदारी भी लगातार मजबूत हुई है। इथियोपिया ने प्रधानमंत्री मोदी को द ग्रेट ऑनर निशान ऑफ इथियोपिया, घाना ने ऑफिसर ऑफ द ऑर्डर ऑफ द स्टार ऑफ घाना, नाइजीरिया ने ग्रैंड कमांडर ऑफ द ऑर्डर ऑफ नाइजर और नामीबिया ने अपने सर्वोच्च नागरिक सम्मान से सम्मानित किया। इन सम्मानों को भारत की उस भूमिका से जोड़कर देखा गया जहां भारत विकासशील देशों की आवाज को वैश्विक मंच पर मजबूती से उठाता रहा है। हिंद महासागर क्षेत्र और कैरेबियाई देशों ने भी प्रधानमंत्री मोदी को अपने सर्वोच्च सम्मानों से नवाजा है। श्रीलंका ने श्रीलंका मित्र विभूषण, मॉरिशस ने ग्रैंड कमांडर ऑफ द ऑर्डर ऑफ द स्टार एंड की ऑफ द इंडियन ओशन, त्रिनिदाद एंड टोबैगो ने ऑर्डर ऑफ द रिपब्लिक ऑफ त्रिनिदाद एंड टोबैगो, जबकि गुआना, डोमिनिका और बारबाडोस ने भी प्रधानमंत्री मोदी को अपने सर्वोच्च राष्ट्रीय पुरस्कार प्रदान किए हैं। कोविड महामारी से लेकर विकास साझेदारी तक भारत की भूमिका को इन देशों ने खुलकर सराहा है। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी को दुनिया के अलग अलग देशों से मिल रहे ये सम्मान केवल एक नेता का सम्मान नहीं, बल्कि बदलते भारत की वैश्विक भूमिका की स्वीकारता है। संवाद, विकास, विश्वास और साझेदारी, यही वो चार स्तंभ हैं जिन पर भारत आज अपनी नई वैश्विक पहचान गढ़ रहा है। और शायद यही वजह है कि दुनिया भारत को अब केवल एक बड़े देश के रूप में नहीं, बल्कि समाधान और नेतृत्व देने वाले शक्ति के रूप में देख रही है। ब्यूरो रिपोर्ट, टीडी न्यूज। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने स्लोवाकिया के राष्ट्रपति पीटर पेलेग्रिनी से मुलाकात की है। दोनों नेताओं ने मजबूत द्विपक्षीय सहयोग से जुड़े मुद्दों पर विचार विमर्श किया। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी और स्लोवाकिया के राष्ट्रपति ने बैठक के दौरान द्विपक्षीय सहयोग में हुई प्रगति की समीक्षा भी की है। स्लोवाकिया के राष्ट्रपति पेलेग्रिनी ने प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी का स्वागत बेहद गर्मजोशी से किया। प्रधानमंत्री ने स्लोवाकिया की राजधानी स्थित राष्ट्रपति आवास में एक विशेष योग सत्र का अवलोकन भी किया। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी और स्लोवाकिया के राष्ट्रपति की मुलाकात के दौरान उपहारों का आदान प्रदान भी किया गया। किसी भारतीय प्रधानमंत्री के तौर पर प्रधानमंत्री मोदी पहली बार यूरोपीय देश स्लोवाकिया पहुंचे हैं। पीएम मोदी की स्लोवाकिया के प्रधानमंत्री के साथ द्विपक्षीय मुलाकात के दौरान दोनों ही देशों में कई समझौते और घोषणाएं हुई थीं, तो आपसी संबंधों को व्यापक साझेदारी के स्तर पर ले जाने पर सहमति भी बनी है। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने डिजिटल, एआई व तकनीक सहयोग और आपसी व्यापार एवं निवेश के मोर्चे पर आपसी सहयोग को तेजी से बढ़ाने की उम्मीद जताई है। तो स्लोवाकिया के प्रधानमंत्री ने संयुक्त राष्ट्र सुरक्षा परिषद में भारत की स्थायी सदस्यता का समर्थन किया है।
स्लोवाकिया की राजधानी में मौजूद ब्रातिस्लावा कैसल में प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी की अगवानी प्रधानमंत्री रॉबर्ट फिको ने की। औपचारिक स्वागत, गार्ड ऑफ ऑनर और उसके बाद प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी और प्रधानमंत्री रॉबर्ट फिको के बीच पहले द्विपक्षीय और उसके बाद प्रतिनिधिमंडल स्तर की वार्ता हुई। दोनों देश अपने संबंधों को मजबूती देने के लिए उत्सुक दिखे और भारत स्लोवाकिया ने अपने रिश्तों को समग्र साझेदारी का रूप देने की घोषणा की।
मेरी ये यात्रा किसी भी भारतीय प्रधानमंत्री की स्लोवाकिया की पहली यात्रा है। मुझे खुशी है कि इस ऐतिहासिक अवसर पर हमने अपने संबंधों को कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव पार्टनरशिप का दर्जा देने का निर्णय लिया है। यह हमारे साझा विश्वास, साझा प्राथमिकताओं और साझा भविष्य का प्रतीक है।
You are becoming the world leader, and Slovakia is interested and therefore I will ask the respective ministry to be active and to use this possibility. I'm also interested in a cooperation in the field of defense industry, where we have quite a lot of opportunities.
दोनों देशों के बीच डिजिटल तकनीक, उच्च शिक्षा, ऑडियो विजुअल और कुशल कामगारों की आवाजाही को लेकर समझौता ज्ञापन पर हस्ताक्षर हुए। वहीं रक्षा क्षेत्र में एक लेटर ऑफ इंटेंट साझा किया गया। पीएम ने कहा कि विशाल क्षमताओं और बड़ी आकांक्षाओं के साथ दोनों देशों का सहयोग साझा समृद्धि के अवसर पैदा करेगा।
टेक्नोलॉजी हमारी भावी साझेदारी का महत्वपूर्ण स्तंभ है। डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी पर आज किए गए MOU इसे डिजिटल पब्लिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में सहयोग की नई संभावनाएं बनेगी। मुझे खुशी है कि स्लोवाकिया की एक यूनिवर्सिटी में AI के विषय पर इंडिया चेयर स्थापित की जा रही है। AI मानवता की सेवा और प्रगति का सशक्त माध्यम बने, यही हमारी साचा सोच है। हमारा मानना है कि AI का भविष्य केवल इनोवेशन से नहीं, बल्कि ट्रस्ट, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी और ह्यूमन डिग्निटी पर आधारित होना चाहिए।
दोनों देशों ने असैन्य परमाणु क्षेत्र में सहयोग, रोजगार, व्यापार और निवेश में संबंधों को प्रगाढ़ बनाने पर सहमति जताई। वहीं प्रधानमंत्री ने विश्वास व्यक्त किया कि यूरोपीय संघ के साथ FTA के जल्द क्रियान्वयन से भारत और स्लोवाकिया के स्टार्टअप और व्यापार के लिए समृद्धि के अवसर खुलेंगे। चंद्रशेखर जोशी के साथ ब्यूरो रिपोर्ट, DD न्यूज।
स्लोवाकिया ने संयुक्त राष्ट्र सुरक्षा परिषद में भारत की स्थायी सदस्यता का समर्थन किया है। स्लोवाकिया के प्रधानमंत्री ने UNSC में भारत की स्थायी सदस्यता की जरूरत को भी रेखांकित किया।
When it comes to the importance of multilateralism in international politics, I would like to publicly declare that the government of the Slovak Republic supports a reform of the United Nations, and we're strongly convinced that countries like India have to be, I will repeat this, they have to be the part of the Security Council of the United Nations as permanent member.
इस खबर के साथ समाचारों के संग में इतना ही। नमस्कार।